Benjamin Franklin once said, "Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today." But it's human nature to procrastinate when the task is too hard or too time-consuming. Most of us choose to leave it till later. Just like that homework we all know we should have done yesterday, right? When we put off things like this, it's not the end of the world. But listen, here's one thing we just cannot put off till tomorrow. Because if we do, it will be the end of the world. And that is the global climate crisis. 35 years ago, my mom went diving in Australia's Great Barrier Reef. I remember her telling me, even as a little kid, how beautiful it was. The rainbow corals covered the entire ocean floor, where all kinds of fish swam protected in their natural habitat. Fast forward to 2017, my family visited the Great Barrier Reef. I could barely contain my excitement for seeing the most beautiful place with my own eyes. However, to my dismay, I was greeted with bleached and lifeless corals. They were dead. That summer, there was an unprecedented bleaching event caused by the warming waters due to climate change. And according to National Geographic, less than 50% of the Great Barrier Reef survived. Think of the coral reefs as a vital organ, like the heart, much like the Amazon forest is the lungs of the earth. It provides habitat and shelter for many species, including humans. And without it, people all around the world will suffer from famine and malnutrition. But it doesn't end there. Ice glaciers are melting at rapid rates. Fires, the most devastating, continue to ravage Australia. Floods, droughts, superstorms, and other extreme disasters will increase. Yes, we are currently in the midst of the 6th mass extinction. That's when it hit me. At the age of 15, I found out that the planet was dying. Yet no one was talking about it. More disturbingly, no one was acting on it. Why was everyone so complacent? It made me furious. How could I not be? We hadn't created the problem, but our generation, we're the ones being left to deal with it. My fury turned to panic. I had to do something. I researched ways to be more sustainable and read every article about climate change. Stop wasting electricity, limit animal foods, stop buying plastic, fast fashion, recycle, reduce. And I did all of that. But in the end, I felt like nothing around me was changing. My panic turned to helplessness, and I felt lost and alone. Then I saw Greta Thunberg, a girl the same age as me, known for her climate change activism. I watched her TED Talk, and when that video ended, I was in tears and in awe of her strength. Her words resonated with me. Why should I be studying for a future that will soon be no more, when no one is doing whatsoever to save that future? All this time, she had started a movement called Fridays for Future, where students all over the world strike on a school day against the lack of action on the climate crisis. All this time, I had felt so powerless, but Greta was proof that I can do it too. I attended a workshop that Fridays for Future Tokyo was holding to learn about the Climate Emergency Declaration. It was truly eye-opening. I was in a room filled with like-minded people, and even though I was one of the youngest, I felt like I belonged there. I listened to the guest speakers, workshopped ideas, and created banners with people who I've never thought I would be able to relate to. We walked to the middle of Shibuya Station and just stood there in a circle facing out, holding up our banners. The amount of attention that we got, it gave me goosebumps. People stopped by to take photos. It sparked conversation, and I finally felt like I had a voice. I asked to join their organization, and they invited me to be part of their creative team. We planned the details for the September Global March, and I designed and produced promotional brochures that were distributed to schools and local stores like Patagonia. All of it was not easy, but it was all worth it, because on September 20th, 2,800 people came to march on the streets of Shibuya, 100 times more than the most recent demonstration. Seeing such a huge turnout, including so many ASIJ students, all raising their voices in protest, it gave me an overwhelming sense of accomplishment and belief that one person locking arms with many can make a change. It empowered me and emboldened me to think bigger. I went to listen to the mayor of Tokyo and ask questions to the reform commissioner, which actually began our continued conversation about Japan's efforts to reduce plastic waste. I also felt that I could create the same environment and community at ASIJ. Together, working with other students, I began a club called Sustainable Fashion. Joining efforts, we were able to raise around 140,000 yen, which we donated to Australia within one single week. It's been 3 years since my shocking discovery of the coral reefs dying. And it took me 1.5 years to understand that one person making changes and asking for change was not enough. But when I took that first step and joined the organization, when I began working with others, that's when I found my voice, and that's when I was finally heard. We all need to start taking ourselves more seriously. Retweeting a hashtag or sharing an Insta post about climate change, yeah, sure, it spreads awareness, but for how long? We need to go beyond that. We don't need to be an expert in the field or in a position of power to affect change. Challenge yourself. Learn about the environment and how we're destroying it, how you're destroying it. And teach others who don't know. Show others that you care by taking action, so that we can live free from the fear that there is no tomorrow. Together, we can face this fear. Together, we can make history and be proud to tell our children one of the world's greatest victories ever. A victory over the climate crisis. Together, we can make a change. The next step is up to you. Thank you.